Summer has finally rolled around over the last few weeks after a very long, cold, and wet spring. And while I'm super excited for all the things that are to come over the next few months, I've found that I've been feeling extremely anxious and overwhelmed and having a really hard time getting my brain to relax. Life has been super busy lately between traveling for work and buying a new house, so heading into the warmer months, I definitely would like to slow down and simplify my life as much as possible. So today I'm going to be sharing a few different lifestyle adjustments that I'm incorporating this summer to help simplify my life. The purpose of these actions is simply to try and declutter my brain and create a space that's calm and allows me to do all the things that I really love doing over the summer. So number one is not making any lists. A brain dump is usually a suggestion to help people make their mind feel less cluttered, but the problem I have is that once I write everything down, I never actually get rid of these lists or brain dumps that I do, so every time I see them, I'm reminded of all the things I wanted to forget. I find that having a long list of things in my phone can be incredibly overwhelming, especially when I'm trying to just quickly access one to see what groceries I need to buy that night. I have lists for things I need to do, places I want to go, what I want to include in my capsule wardrobe, gifts I need to buy, it goes on and on. So this summer, I am saying no to any more lists. And in particular, I'm going to start considering, is this something that I really need to write down, or can I let go of it right here, right now? Number two is I will be incorporating a capsule wardrobe. I am fortunate to be spoiled for choice when it comes to the wardrobe department. However, sometimes this can make getting dressed feel very difficult, overwhelming, and ultimately unsatisfying. So for this summer, I've decided to tuck away a lot of the items that I don't really feel like wearing right now and stick to just a smaller capsule. I'm not actually planning to declutter any items, just put them out of sight for the time being, as I find that often I will get kind of tired of wearing certain things or just seeing them in my wardrobe, but it doesn't necessarily mean that I don't want them later. So to avoid the never-ending cycle of consumption, I'm just going to tuck some things away in my suitcase for now. This is not a wardrobe challenge, so I'm not setting a certain time limit for this capsule or designating a certain number of items, and I'll rotate things out as I please. The sole purpose of this capsule is to reduce the number of decisions I need to make, as well as the number of things that are actually visible to me. I haven't felt as gravitated towards color or pattern lately, so I've tucked a lot of those pieces away, even though I do still really love them. Another bonus to my capsule is that by default, it should make other things such as packing and doing laundry simpler as well. Number three is incorporating a short shopping freeze. So if you watched my 22 things I'm not buying in 2022 video, you'll know that I said that I was not going to purchase any new clothing this year and I was going to make it all myself. That didn't go quite as planned, but I do have to say that putting that rule in place did ensure that I was making very conscious decisions about everything that I purchased and relying on secondhand as much as possible. I'm just not someone that does very well with putting really hard and fast rules into place. I think I prefer for things to be more of a gradual lifestyle shift rather than a don't do this and you can do that, if that makes sense. But that's a topic we could do in a whole other video. Despite the majority of my purchases this year being secondhand to try and line up with my sustainable fashion goals, I just really don't want shopping to occupy any space in my brain or any more space than it needs to, so I'm planning to do a freeze for the rest of the summer. I do really feel like I have everything that I need. I've been able to fill any big gaps that I did have in my wardrobe, so everything else at this point is just a want, and I do still have a few sewing projects planned just for fun this summer, so that will give me something new and exciting to look forward to. This shopping freeze will specifically cover more frivolous items such as clothing, shoes, or hobby-related items. I don't know if you can relate, but I find that sometimes when I'm thinking about things like this, the perfectionist side of my brain will really take over and I'll start trying to plan the perfect wardrobe for some specific trip or special event or what item I'll need for a certain activity. And I become almost obsessed of trying to create this aesthetic for this certain thing rather than focusing my time on actually doing that thing. So I want to implement the shopping freeze just to remind my brain that I don't even need to worry about those things. I don't need to think about that. I have everything that I could possibly need to do anything I want to do, so I can focus my time on just going out and doing it. Number 4 is simplifying my meal planning. Now, I'm someone who really enjoys cooking. I find a lot of creativity and fulfillment in the kitchen, but sometimes it just seems so hard to think of what am I going to make for dinner. So I'm incorporating an idea I actually got from Dawn from The Minimal Mom, and that is listing a couple of meals, maybe 20 to 30, that are things you can make without looking at any ingredients, things that you know that you enjoy, and then writing them all out along with the ingredients required for those meals. You also can order them in, how difficult they are to make. And the idea is that now you've got your list of meals as well as your list of ingredients right there for you. So theoretically, it should be easier for you to decide what to make for dinner as well as what to buy when you're grocery shopping. You don't have to worry about if you're going to forget something for a certain meal because it's already listed there, and you'll have those ingredients in your fridge so you can just walk up to the fridge, look at your list, and decide what to make for dinner. Sounds wonderful. We'll see how well it works. I definitely want to focus on creating some more simple salads and bowls, using as many fresh and in-season ingredients as I can. I find that when you're using ingredients that are really fresh, you don't need to really do that much to them because they're so delicious just on their own. Overall, just trying to simplify it in any ways that I can. Similarly to the capsule wardrobe, this is not a challenge I'm trying to implement for any period of time. I'm just going to do it for the amount of time that works best for me and still leave myself room to create more complicated or intricate meals if I feel like it that day. Number 5 is scheduling in things that I want to do. Now, often we will schedule things into our calendars that we need to do, such as appointments or errands, but it's not very often that we specifically give ourselves time to do the things that we just really want to do. I'm trying to ensure that rather than scheduling my entire day with things that are productive or make me feel productive, I'm also giving myself time and space to do things that I just genuinely enjoy doing, like dancing, climbing, or even just sitting down and reading a book. This also helps me ensure I'm participating in activities that feel fulfilling and I don't resort to mindless habits like scrolling on my phone when I have some free time. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to fill up all of my time with activities. That's not the point. I do want to make sure that there are meaningful breaks as well. But the reason we generally crave a simple life is to have more time for the things we love and that mean a lot to us, rather than living a rushed and stressful life where we are always on the go. I feel by scheduling this into my day, it shows me that I am making this a priority for myself and I'm really showing up for myself to work on my own happiness and things that I love doing. Now, the last thing that I am doing to simplify my life this summer is making a list of things that I need to do when I'm feeling overwhelmed. Now, I know that the very first thing I said in this video was that I wasn't going to make any more lists, but sometimes when we're feeling that overwhelmed, it can be really difficult to know where to start or what to do to help ourselves calm back down. To help with this, I decided to make a list of simple activities I can do to help me relax when I'm in this state. Making a mental note that turning to simple things like gardening, taking deep breaths, socializing with a friend or family member, or slowly making a cup of tea will ensure that if I'm having a bad day where I can't seem to get a grasp on things, I know there are little activities I will do that can help me put things into perspective. So those are the 6 things that I am doing this summer to help simplify my life. Between the increased hours of daylight and the hot temperatures, summer always feels like the perfect time to just really slow down and take it easy whenever we can. I realize that my ability to intentionally choose to stop spending and incorporate things that I love into my day-to-day life are an immense privilege, but I hope that you are in a position as well where you can choose to do these things to help simplify your life over the summer. Do you have any tips for things that might help people slow down over the next few months? Please make sure you leave them in the comments below. I love learning from you all and seeing what ways you incorporate simple and slow living into your life. If you're new to this, but you are interested in living a more slow and simple life, please make sure that you subscribe. I will be sharing lots of ways that I incorporate these practices into my own life, especially as I move into my new home over the next month. As always, Rhubarb and I thank you for watching, and we'll see you again soon.